So here are three big stories for today. It is Wednesday, December 27th. So the Russians attacked pretty ferociously Kherson, killing six and injuring many others, taking out power. But what was really interesting about this was what was happening. Russia fired almost 50 Shahed drones at targets in Ukraine and shelled a train station where more than 100 civilians were gathered to catch a train to Kyiv. So civilians leaving the city are getting shelled, killing 5 people, knocking out power in most of Kherson. If you want to know who the good guys are, they're not the guys shooting at civilians at a train station trying to leave the city. They're also not the guys that are attacking the power grid, leaving about 70% of the households in the city without electricity. Those aren't the good guys. Okay, story number two. Russia warns Japan over providing Patriot air defense systems to Ukraine. So this is Maria Zakharova, and she's saying a move by Japan to provide Patriot air defense systems to Ukraine will have grave consequences for Russia-Japan ties. Russian Foreign Ministry spokesperson Maria Zakharova said on Wednesday. Now, if you remember about a year ago when Patriots were about to get there or just had gotten there, Putin was talking a big game like, these patriots, they're not going to do anything. I mean, we're going to do far worse to your patriot systems. We're going to destroy them, that kind of thing. But yet you're talking this thing because you don't want that to happen or you don't want that to be there. Although Japan's new export controls still prevent it from shipping weapons to countries that are at war, and South Korea is kind of like that, it may indirectly benefit Ukraine in its war with Russia as it gives the United States extra capacity to provide military aid. So they're selling it technically to the US. And what the US does with it, who knows? Maybe they give it to Ukraine and they know what's going on. Okay, third and final story. Now, this conversation happened a long time ago, but I thought it was fascinating that it was just published today. So Putin promised Xi back in March, but it's just coming out, that he was going to fight for 5 years in Ukraine. Well, that's what he's telling him at least. So Putin has no intention of stopping anytime soon. Anybody that tells you that or says, look, they just want peace, they just want to talk, they wanted this to be over with. Well, they want it over on their terms, but otherwise he intends to fight for the long haul. So you need to be aware of that. This was in Nikkei Asia. Okay, finally, last thing. This was an update. War costs Kyiv $120 million or million euros per day. And what does that mean? If you do some fast math, it means that it's going to cost about 20 billion euros per year. And that's just to keep the lights on and keep things running, not to actually take the fight to the enemy. But the finance officer or minister said, I'm less concerned about 2024 than I am about 2025. And that's prescient because the longer this goes on, the harder this is going to be to get aid. Okay, that's it. That's all that I have. I meant to have the update number 2, and you're going to want to hear the update on the giving. It's really amazing, but we're waiting for a video from Ukraine to be able to put it together. So look forward to that, and thank you for being the kind of person that cares about Ukraine.